Can we breathe while we're in freefall? Or does it feel like a roller coaster? Let me answer those 5 myths about skydiving. Hey there, it's Catherine Bernier from Skydive Vibes, sharing the passion of skydiving and helping you become a better skydiver. So if you're a skydiver, looking to become one, or just curious about skydiving, consider subscribing not to miss any of those videos. Today I wanted to demystify 5 myths about skydiving. Those are the most common we hear about, and if you're looking to jump in the near future or just curious about skydiving, you might already have asked people around you about those, so let's demystify those together right now. Skydiving is dangerous. Well, that's our myth number 1. Skydiving is a sport, and like any other sports, extreme or not, there are risks of injuries. That being said, the whole sport of skydiving revolves around safety, whether it's the course, the equipment, the training, the rehearsal on the ground before jumping. All those elements are there to make sure the sport remains safe. The chance of dying from a skydive is actually at its lowest of the history, at about 0.006%. Does it feel like a roller coaster? A lot of people don't like roller coasters, so they say that they won't like skydiving. Well, that's our myth number 2. The feeling from being in a roller coaster and doing a skydive jump is really different. That comes from the fact that in a roller coaster, you start from a speed of 0 miles per hour and you accelerate very fast. This is what gives you that stomach turning feeling whenever you accelerate, and you might experience the same feeling when you're in a car and accelerating very fast. Skydiving, on the other hand, doesn't give you that dropping feeling, and this comes from the fact that when you're exiting the plane has already a speed forward, so you get the relative wind at the same speed whenever you jump out of the plane. So that explains that you don't really feel that feeling of going from 0 to a full-blown speed. And by the time you're exiting that relative wind from the plane, you are actually almost already at your terminal speed, which is around 120 miles per hour. So you don't get that full feeling of acceleration, hence you don't get that stomach turning feeling. That's not to say that skydiving gives you a real rush of adrenaline, and nothing compares of the feeling you get from jumping out of an airplane. So you can only really understand it at the point where you experience it yourself. I have the fear of heights, so I can't jump. Well, that's our myth number 3. Fear of heights is actually the most common fear amongst skydivers. Not only first-time skydivers, but also the ones that have hundreds and hundreds of jumps. And the reason is, this is actually what motivates them to jump. Overcoming that fear is something that is really fulfilling for someone who has always had a fear of heights. It's still perfectly normal to have the fear of the height you're at whenever you look down from the airplane. But the thing is that skydiving heights are different. And it might sound counterintuitive because you're pretty high up there, but it actually looks like a Google map. So the sense of depth is actually removed. You don't see or feel it. So this is what usually gives you that fear that you get, or that dizziness that you might feel whenever you're standing on a chair. You have the depth because you're near from the ground. So at that height, you don't have that feeling. So there's no such thing as the fear of heights as you know it up there. It's pretty different. It's actually normal to have a little fear whenever you think about jumping out of an airplane, and it's actually part of the experience. So just do it and you're gonna feel proud that you've done it. Myth number 4, can we breathe while we're falling? A lot of people people are being told that it's hard to breathe whenever you're in free fall. Well, let me tell you, it's not. If you end up having trouble breathing, it's because you are experiencing a panic reaction. You might not think you're panicking, but you are. There is no such thing as having too much wind speed in the face, keeping you from breathing. However, remembering to breathe is another story. So relax and breathe, and especially breathe by the nose if you don't want to end up like this tandem skydiver. Myth number 5. Do we go up whenever we open the parachute? A lot of people think that yes, but actually that's a myth. And the reason is because people are looking at videos, and whenever we see a tandem skydiving video, we see that when the tandem skydiver is opening their parachute, we see them going up. But the fact is that to be able to shoot that video, there was a cameraman in front of them, and by opening the parachute, the tandem instructor is slowing its speed really fast, while the cameraman keeps falling at the same rate. So it's a perspective view from the cameraman where we see the tandem skydiver going up, but they're not. They're just slowing down when the cameraman is keeping its speed. So that explains why we always get the feeling looking at a video that the tandem skydive goes up. Alright, so thanks for watching that video about the 5 common myths about skydiving. I hope you've enjoyed, and before leaving, let me know in the comments below if you're planning to do a tandem jump, and do not hesitate if you have any more questions. Also, consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this one or other cool skydiving videos. So on that, I tell you, do it, talk soon, and blue skies. What is up, people? Make sure... Today I wanted to demystify